To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and welcome to my world of wonder. Today I'm joined by my good friend, Rick.
Hello, I am Rick Tedesco. I've known Noah for a little bit, and I am happy to join him on this hot and spicy adventure that we get to go on.
Yeah. So today we're doing quite different from the other two podcasts we've done already. Those were both pretty Disney parks heavy. This might end up including some of that, but it's going to be, this is basically, it's not your average podcast. We said this earlier when we were discussing the episode. This is not your average podcast. Today, Rick is interviewing me. Normally, I would interview the guest. But he's been with me for the beginning of this podcast journey, kind of a little bit of the inspiration. He's been some of the advice counsel, not as much as my wife has been, because she's the one who okays the purchases.
And you live with her.
Yeah, she's the one who has to deal with it. But me and Rick have talked a lot about it, and he's been supportive of it since the beginning. He's been right here behind me, ready to help me launch it. And so he thought it was a good idea for you guys as the viewers and the listeners to get to know me a little bit better. And I thought that was an excellent idea. So that's what we're going to do today. So Rick, why don't you tell us about these bottles that are on the edge of the table?
Absolutely. So as you all notice, we have a few bottles up here. And so the inspiration for this was to kind of go with the Hot Ones theme of, we're going to eat some chicken wings dipped in each of these sauces. And I'm going to be asking Noah 10 questions about himself for you all to get to know him and get to witness the struggle of answering questions as things get hotter. So it's going to be a fun little time. I've cultivated 10 questions that hopefully are going to help you guys understand him a little bit better and really get to know your host for many more fun adventures. And, I like to see him in a little bit of pain too. So I think it's going to be a good time.
That's my good friend Rick right there. This man is the reason that I've experienced Universal Studios, and I'm appreciative of that. So that gives me a whole other tangent of things that we can go to on this podcast.
Yes.
I did go to Universal once before that, but it wasn't the best experience because we got some bad advice. But this guy knew what he was doing. He took me there for a wedding gift, actually, and that was epic.
Yep, you're welcome.
So that's going to be a whole different thing we get to do on this podcast. Let's talk about Universal. And actually, that's something I want to do with you. I don't know how many times you've gone.
Just the once.
Just the once, okay.
Yep.
Well, maybe we need to go again before we do this one. But I want to do a Disney World or Disneyland versus Universal Studios head-to-head, where you're representing Universal and I'll represent Disneyland. And yeah.
See,
that's a fun idea for the future.
Yeah, that sounds like a good old time.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thought there was something else I was going to say, but I can't think of what it was. So why don't we just dive into the first question?
You got it.
Do
All
we
right.
eat the chicken before the question?
Yes. So we're going to eat the chicken before the question. So the first sauce is a very mild sauce. This is just a classic chili maple, 1600 Scoville. And so we're not doing this in wings because, well, we both have to work tomorrow and we really don't want to have to suffer during our working day. So what we've done is we're just going to dip some chicken nuggets in it. So we got nuggets. So first thing we do, take our nugget, dip it in the sauce, and just go ahead and take a bite and see how this goes. And then I'll be asking you your first question.
All right. It's like ketchup.
Yeah.
Actually, I think ketchup is spicier.
I think so. Nothing like chewing chicken nuggets right into a microphone.
Oh, yeah.
In a podcast.
Maybe we ought to lean back next time.
Might be a good idea. The audience will appreciate that probably a little bit.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it is what it is. But all right, so now for the first question. So I already know you, Noah. So we've hung out a little bit.
Yeah.
But for everybody that's just now learning about you, getting to know you, why has Disney been a large influence on your life?
Ooh, I like that question. Why has it? Well, it started out when I was a kid. My mom grew up a Disney obsessed person. Well, I don't know if she grew up, actually, if I'm being honest. I don't know if she grew up being obsessed with Disney or if it came later in life. But it was before I was around. So I was born into it.
Okay.
We went to Disney World for our first time in 2005. We only went to 2 of the parks in Disney World that time, but It was enough to set an impression. The second park we went to was Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
And I was kind of just getting into the, like, what do I want to do with my future? And this was in 2005. I was 7. So
okay.
It wasn't like, oh, I'm really considering my future. It was like, oh, what kind of things do I like?
Yeah.
You know, that's when you're discovering who you are as a human being. And I fell in love with Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
So as a theme park, that was where it was. Every time we went to Disney World since then, I really wanted to go to Hollywood Studios. And from that, I started appreciating Disney's arts more.
Okay.
Their animated movies and their live action movies. They became a huge inspiration for some of the things I've created in the past. And it was really Walt Disney. There's this movie that I'm a big fan of called Walt Before Mickey.
Okay.
That takes you on a journey basically from when Walt came back from serving in the Red Cross to basically debuting Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
It gets some things wrong. It's not like a perfect history film, but for the most part, it tells you the story of his life and his story and what he wanted to do with his life kind of reflected how I feel about it and what I want to do with my life. I want to bring people together. I want to entertain them, and I want them to have fun together. I want people to stop worrying about all the troubles in the world. Like, there's some things we need to worry about, of course, but like, we need to take time every now and again to step away from it. Okay. And Walt Disney always believed that any dream that you have can be a reality if you just go for it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to not pick up where Walt left off. That sounds like I'm trying to be Walt Disney. I don't want to be Walt, but I do want to have my life be heavily influenced by him. I want to do things because of how they will make people feel, and I don't like making people sad. I like making people happy.
That's admirable. That's awesome.
Yeah. So Walt Disney, I guess.
Okay.
Just the man he was.
Right. Okay. So Walt Disney. Cool.
Yeah.
All righty. Yeah. All right. So let's get on to our next question.
Okay. So that means another nugget.
Yeah, that means another nugget. So this next one is La Pimerente Curry Verde. So it's a 6,000 Scoville unit. I really enjoy this one. This one is not, to me, it's not spicy at all, but it has really good flavors, very aromatic. I really enjoy this one. Has a smidgen of spice to it, not anything hot. The curry in it is just, it's...
If anything, that first one seemed to have a slight bit more kick than that one does.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is weird.
Yeah, and that sometimes depends upon the type of peppers that they are and how the oils and everything hits your tongue. You're going to notice that certain things are going to hit you harder than other things that are supposed to be hotter. Okay. And that's also what can make a big difference between, what I receive as heat and what you receive as heat.
Fair enough.
So there's times where, like, I love to eat hot stuff. So I have ate over a 9 million Scoville unit of heat before. So I do hot things that are just dumb. But there's certain things that, like, my wife, she will not find spicy, and I'm like, how do you not find this spicy? This has some bite to it. And it just comes down to how it hits you on that tongue. Okay. And I don't know what exactly it is, but it's going to be something that's going to be kind of fun that you're going to get to experience on this fun adventure.
Right on. I'm excited. Okay.
So our next question, we're still kind of following up on this Disney theme because, again, I know Noah, Disney's very important to him. So Noah, if you could be any Disney character, who would it be and why?
Wow. These questions are a lot deeper than I thought. Let me answer you that by asking you this. Are you talking Disney, like, as a whole, like obtained properties, or only things that have been originally from Disney?
Dude, this is at your discretion.
Ooh.
What character in the entire Disney universe, if you could pick any of them, it could go, it could be, you can include Marvel, or, the MCU. You can include Star Wars. You can include original. Who would you be and why?
Okay. I think I'll go with 2. I'll give you 2.
Okay.
I'll give you Disney original.
Okay.
And that would be Goofy.
Goofy? Okay.
Yeah. I would love to be Goofy because he's obnoxious and he's clumsy and he's hilarious, and everybody loves him.
Okay, yep. So
some of my biggest flaws are the reason people love Goofy. So we kind
Fair
of
enough.
yeah, you get the best of both worlds out of that. I get to stay myself, but and I get to be taller.
Yes, yeah,
I'm a
I can
short
see that.
fella.
Yeah, you are not you are a little vertically challenged,
Yeah,
but that's
a little
okay.
bit, a little bit. But yeah, that I would definitely be Goofy.
Goofy? Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen any of the shorts, but some of the shorts with Goofy are just outrageous, and I'm like, I would do that. That's
Right.
me. So
Right.
I feel like to an extent I kind of
Yeah.
am Goofy.
I kind of agree with you there, man. The fun loving, the
Yeah.
wanting to, you want to appease as many people as possible, which Goofy absolutely does. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He is 100% family based. I think you're nailing that, man.
Wow.
I think you're living what you want to be, which is awesome.
That got deep fast. But now I'm going to jump to the other side of the spectrum.
Okay.
I'm going to share my Star Wars.
There we go.
Who I'd be from Star Wars. I would love to be Darth Vader.
Okay. So now we're going to the complete
Yes.
opposite. Okay.
And it probably plays into the fact that it is fantasy and it's not real.
Okay.
So, being a bad guy sounds like a fun thing to do.
Okay.
But only in fantasy. I wouldn't want to be a bad guy in real life.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, Darth Vader, he's just a badass, first of all.
Right.
For many reasons. The black suit, I'm here for it.
Okay.
I think I can
All right.
pull it off. Black suits make chubby guys look a little bit thinner.
Absolutely.
So I'm here for the black suit. Let's see. He gets a lightsaber. He gets to fight with lightsabers. I mean,
Okay.
lightsabers are cool. I don't know, but yeah, no. That's just mainly from like a fantasy, like just to play around. Like
Right.
Darth Vader.
Yep,
I'd love
okay.
to be the big
Darth
bad
Vader.
guy,
Okay.
the guy that everyone's afraid of. So then I can turn around and be myself, where
Where you could be end up being
nobody's
Goofy.
afraid of me.
But in the end, Darth Vader does end up being that, because really in the end, he still is that ultimately
is.
loving, protective father.
Yeah.
That went out saving his own son.
Wow, leave it to Rick to put a positive twist. That's good stuff. Okay.
So that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
So that's very cool.
pretty silly answers, but
Hey, no, that's okay. That's what we want.
exactly. You wanted to know who I am.
Yeah, exactly. We want your audience to get an idea of who you are and kind of what drives you, motivates you, and, gets a big picture perspective of you.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go on to our next one then.
Okay.
So this one is not spicy at all, in my opinion. This is the Krabby Shack Zesty Lemon Pepper. It's supposed to be 15,500 Scoville units.
It smells like salsa verde from Taco Bell.
It kind of is. It's got a lemongrassy kind of flavor to it. Little more heat to it. You'll feel it, especially if you accidentally almost choke on it like I just did.
Fair.
But it's not bad.
I think this is where we're getting into what you were talking about a minute ago, where we perceive spice differently.
Yep.
I didn't feel anything almost.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where, again, the chemical makeup of the peppers, how it hits the flavor receptors on your tongue, absorbs, sits, whatever it is. We can both have completely different experiences with it.
Interesting.
And like to me, it's not hot. It just, I can tell it has a spice to it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And the problem is when you inhale, unfortunately, as it gets on there,
that changes
You can
things.
kind of spray paint the back of your throat with some hot sauce, and it does not feel very good.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay.
So, all right. So, here's another one for you.
Oh boy.
Say, these are getting good. So, what are some of the largest influences other than Disney that you've had in your life so far?
Oh, okay. I have a couple that immediately come to mind. The first one is actually Jesse Spencer.
Okay.
Our pastor's son, one of our pastor's sons.
Yeah.
One of the things that this actually, I think, I'm trying to remember if this, I think is before, it might've been right after I came back from Disney the first time.
Okay.
He released the third installment of a series that I didn't know he was making called School Wars, which was a Star Wars fan film based in a high school.
Okay.
And I remember watching that one. And that, I think, before I really got into Disney, specifically being an inspiration, was what started me down the path of like, I want to make movies, short films, YouTube videos when I get older. Like that was a huge driving force
Nice.
early on in my life. And He probably isn't listening to this podcast, but if he was, I would say thank you for the inspiration you gave me that you probably didn't even know, and I probably have failed to express to you in the past.
Well, now you have an opportunity that you're able to, and hopefully he'll stumble upon this and be able to see that how much of an influence he's had on you and an impact he's had.
I hope so. Sometimes you don't realize.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes when you do realize, you're like, I don't know how to articulate it to this person. And,
right.
And then you kind of start feeling weird about it.
Yeah. Well, and then you go on so long without it that in your own mind, it starts to become awkward that you haven't said anything to this person. Exactly. And it's like, well, how do I express this? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But to be honest, he is probably the reason that we're here right now.
Okay.
Doing this.
Well, that's awesome.
In a roundabout way, he didn't inspire the podcast directly, but
right.
That showing was what drove me to want to create and why I started doing all of this in the first place. So
that's awesome.
It's been years to get to this point from starting making videos, but
right.
The second one would probably be his brother. Just
which one?
Matthew.
Okay.
And I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm being a jerk, but not as much.
No, that's fair.
I don't want that to come across like, well, he wasn't as important in it, but
no, that's not what you're saying at all.
No, yeah, but Jesse was the driving factor.
He was the catalyst.
Yeah, that's the way to put it. He was the catalyst.
Yep.
And Matthew was more of a consistent since then.
He was a sustaining force.
Yeah, like he hired me on, and it was actually the first time I ever got paid to edit. To do some editing for him for his band that I don't know if he's still in it or not, honestly. I meant to talk to him about that on Sunday. I forgot, but he used to play in a big band, a jazz band.
Right.
And he hired me to videotape for them and to edit the video together. And that experience was part of what kept me going.
Okay.
Because I didn't have basically when I was making YouTube videos at that time, I was shooting them on a phone or on a really old Nikon point and shoot camera.
Okay.
Probably like 1440, not even 1440, probably.
Oh yeah, probably like a 1080p or 720.
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe what is the other one?
480.
480. Yeah, 480p. So some really bad videos. That's what I was shooting on before. But working with him, he allowed me to use his equipment and learn how to use some of that stuff. And that's what led me into deciding what I needed to keep going. So, those Spencer boys,
they're very creative and they're very influential.
Yeah.
I mean, they absolutely are. I mean, there's a reason why, Matthew is a pastor. I mean, he's very, very powerful and very influential.
For sure.
Very charismatic.
For sure. So I'll say this too. I'll tell you this in person, Matthew, if you decide to listen to this podcast, but if not, then I'll still tell you in person. But thank you for the influence you've had on me to getting to this point as well. You and Jesse both. Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
I mean, I'm sure there's thousands of other YouTubers who I've gotten inspiration from, but
right, those are the two.
Nothing really sticks out as much as them two.
Okay, yeah. So those were really the two at the beginning of it all.
Yeah,
and those were really the two. Like you said, that was the catalyst, and then the sustaining force that gave you a big influence. And that actually answered kind of what my next question was going to be. Okay. So, which is fine. I'll come up with another one here.
You can ask it.
Well, it was just going to be.
Let's just tag it onto this one, and then you can add another one.
Yeah. What made them an impact in the way that they have? I mean, which you really already answered it.
That's okay. I was going to say maybe I could elaborate, but
I
don't think there's much more elaborating.
No, you kind of cleared that one up right along that one on there.
Excellent.
So that's great. So let's go on to our next one. And
heck yeah.
So
another
this
chicken nugget.
Yep. So this one, it starts to get a little bit hotter. We're going up to a 36,500 Scovilles. This is Chili Laguna de Fuego. This is basically a chocolate ghost pepper sauce. So Eddie, on Labor Day weekend at my house, we did a big shindig at my casa. And so we did the Hot Ones challenge with like 10 different people. And so family, friends, all got involved. And so we all did this. I think I was one of the only ones that liked this sauce. And normally I'm not a big fan of ghost pepper because I just don't like that smoky flavor.
Okay.
But this one just hits different. That chocolate that's in it, to me, is actually really, really good. It's very complimentary.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and
Bottoms
See
up.
how we feel. And this is a much thicker sauce as well.
Yeah, I was noticing that. I was like, this looks more like a paste than a sauce.
It's a good glaze. It'd be a really good glaze,
Oh,
on some wings or something.
Okay.
So,
Well.
yep. So, cheers.
I'm with you. I like that.
Yeah, it is surprisingly pleasant.
It's very sweet on the front end.
Yes, it is, and it's not overly smoky. The smoke that it does have to me is a complementary to that sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's not an artificial type smoke or a overproduced smoky type flavor either, in my opinion.
Yeah. Just had to watch the nugget down the back of my
Yeah,
throat.
no, have at it, man. I probably should do here in a minute. So the next question is going to be, what are some of your hobbies?
Ooh, okay. That's another good one. I've got several. Aside from making videos, because unfortunately this is classified as a hobby. I'm not making any money yet.
Right.
Yet.
Yet.
But one of my probably biggest hobbies outside of this is in the hobby we call it cubing, but to a lot of people that means absolutely nothing. But it's basically Rubik's cubes, solving Rubik's cubes, and not to be a little bit more specific. It's not just things that are branded Rubik's. It's any form of twisty puzzle.
Right. Okay.
I've got several in the room next door. I should have grabbed one.
You got time?
Let me go grab one real quick.
One.
You keep them busy with something. I'm going to walk across all the cameras.
Yep. Yeah. Go in front of the view. Give them a good full body shot here. And so, yes, cubing. I have learned how to do a Rubik's Cube myself and many different ones of them, just the 3x3s, and I'm not nearly as talented as him. And my best time was about 45 seconds on one, which is not impressive to people that can, do this all the time. But for my humble self, I was very, very proud to be able to do it. I thought it was pretty awesome. And then Noah has introduced me to some of the other brands, and especially ones that have like a magnetic levitation ability to them or whatnot. So they're super, super smooth, click in place really nicely. And it is pretty darn awesome. So here's our gracious host back again with us with some of his cubes.
Yeah, so these are just two of the ones that I enjoy the most, and then the one that has been the most challenging for me.
Okay.
This is that 3x3. I just realized that this is an audio podcast, so most people listening won't be able to see this.
Hey, that's okay.
But so there's this 3x3. So it's 3x3 layers. And that's what Rick was just talking about. This is my magnetic one. It snaps into place. And then it also uses magnets to repel. I could get into exactly what the magnets do, but it would go over most people's heads. So
right, yeah. Let's keep it simple here today.
Dumb, but like it's a niche thing. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
If you're a cuber, if you're not, it's hard to explain without
right
really being able to supply visuals.
Well, absolutely.
Then this guy here is called a Megaminx. It is a dodecahedron, which is a mathematical shape that is 5-sided, and then there's 12 faces on the shape to create this geometric shape, and it is essentially 2 3x3s fused together in a not obvious way.
Okay.
It solves the same basically, just with a couple extra roundabouts on there.
Okay. Then
this is the one that eludes me. This is called a square one.
Okay.
Most cubers, they're called speed cubers. They go to competitions. Like, this is a big thing. Most cubers can solve this.
Okay.
I cannot, because we use these things called algorithms to solve them.
Correct.
And the algorithms for this a couple of them are miles long, and they use different notation.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Than the other ones. So like this one, you have like the right side, the left side, the top side, the down side, and the back side and the front side.
Yep.
With this, you have negative.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It'll show up as like -1. So you do a counterclockwise movement, -1 times.
Okay.
Or so 1 time backwards. And then a positive, and then it's just number, and that means top and bottom. And then they also have a slash, which means you go through the middle. It is
wow.
When you're not used to the notation, it's a pain because it's hard to memorize. But
okay, I could absolutely see that. I'm already confused just staring at the thing.
Yeah, I've solved it maybe 4 times since I've owned it, and it is now unsolved because
you just can't get it there.
Can't get it there.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to.
Yeah,
at some point in time.
Cubing is one of my big hobbies.
Okay.
Probably the most consistent one, I guess, aside from video making, where, I mean, anytime I'm not doing anything, I'm more likely picking up a Rubik's Cube and maybe not going hard trying to beat the fastest time, but just messing with it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Making it faster. Another one is probably just collecting.
Okay.
I would say specifically Star Wars products.
Okay.
Specifically, I collect lightsabers, the toy lightsabers, because I'm a child, and that's why we're here.
That's right, exactly.
But I've also been collecting the vinyl pop Star Wars figures.
Okay.
Or whatever, the pop vinyl, I think is technically how you would say it. But I've been collecting those. I have a lot of Star Wars ones. I've got a couple other ones. I think I have a Harry Potter one. I got a couple from Deadpool, and but yeah, so collecting Star Wars things is up there. And I guess Star Wars Lego. So Star Wars Lego, lightsabers, and pop figures.
Okay.
I group those all together as kind of one hobby. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to think. I think that's really my main hobbies. I mean,
is your main hobby?
If you can consider spending time with your wife a hobby, then that's absolutely one too.
Yeah, that's more like necessity, and it's. I wouldn't say that's a hobby. That's just being a spouse. That's being a good husband.
That's just doing my job.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
But I love doing it, so that's the only reason that I'm like, maybe it does count.
You love it so much, it's you count it as a hobby.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's go, I guess, on to our next one.
I keep forgetting that the nugget comes between the questions.
Yep, the nugget is what comes between us. So, this one is.
Need to start moving stuff here soon.
We can start moving the sauces we've already done. I'll put them right behind you here, and then get them out of our way. Can help with the reach a little bit.
This is the one we.
We just did that one.
So we'll
slide them all over.
Better make sure I'm not dripping hot sauce on my Mac here.
I've
heard Macs don't like hot sauce.
Macs don't like running hot at all. Well, they like running hot. They just don't perform very well with it. All right, I got one in my hand.
Okay.
All right,
I've dipped already.
Okay, cool. Yep. So this one's probably my favorite overall tasting one. So this is the Hot Ones Las Calientes Rojo, and it is a 49,000 Scoville unit. But this would be amazing, and I found it's amazing on tacos, nachos. It is a really, really great taco sauce, in my opinion.
Okay.
So
right on. I'm gonna. I think that camera stopped recording.
Okay.
So before we jump and bite those, I'm gonna go ahead and get that guy going. Give it just a couple moments. We'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So
all right. We're back.
Ready to eat now. All right.
Let's get it going.
All right. Hopefully you enjoy this one.
I hope so.
Yep, that is hands down my favorite one. I have not had it on a chicken nugget before, and it is very good even on a chicken nugget.
I don't know if that was residual from the last one, but it kind of had a sweet note at the front.
It does
too. Okay,
yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yep. In my opinion, it does.
I like things that are sweet, and then they're like, let's go back.
Yeah, exactly. You get that little bit of sweet, and then you get the little bit of naughtiness with that spice that likes to pop out and hit you.
Spicy.
No, it's really good.
I think if I was picking a sauce, that's probably where I would.
That's
kind of getting nervous for going forward.
That's your happy point. That's
kind
of your happy spot.
Okay, I'm happy.
Yep. To me, this one is just like if I had something that was really heavily peppered.
Okay.
And so it's got. I can
see that.
I can feel it on my tongue, but it's not like hot. It's not bothering me one bit or anything. It's really nice, and even my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, really enjoyed this one. And so she, against my better judgment and me telling her, she made it all the way to 6.
Wow.
And so
if I don't make it to 6, I got beat by a.
You will have been beaten by a 9-year-old. So just think about that. when we're getting to that one.
Okay, well, this one wasn't nothing. This is fine.
Yep.
Just catch up.
Yep. All right. So this question, it's going to kind of feed into the other one.
Okay.
So you did mention your Star Wars Legos. Are there any other Legos that you have collected? And out of the non-Star Wars ones, what are some of your favorites?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I have collected more than just Star Wars Lego. They're all in a bin in my office because I need shelves to put them on, and
right.
it's not a priority right now.
Yep, fair enough.
A couple of mainly the other ones that I've collected have been Lego City.
Okay.
So it kind of, I'm realizing this now, right this second, that my personality that we were talking about earlier, we're wanting to bring people together, make people happy. I really want to be a community builder.
Okay.
That's kind of what I want here too. I want to build a community around the things that I enjoy and other people who enjoy it.
Okay.
So I collected a lot of Lego City. In my apartment in Greeley, I actually had I built a Lego City out of some of the sets that I got. Again, my gracious wife supported that.
Right.
God bless her. I love that woman.
It's a good thing you married her then.
That's what I'm saying. So a couple of my favorites, probably my number one. I can't tell you why this is my favorite, but it is. It's probably the only one that's not in a box right now.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Verb. Anyway, probably my favorite set is a 3-story hospital set.
Okay.
It was an older set. I bought it off of a third party. It was a sealed box. It was probably 10 years old when I got it.
Okay.
Maybe not quite that old, but it was an older set. It had been retired. So I was excited to get it. And I don't know what it was about building it and just adding it into the city that it made me very fond of it. And it's sitting on top of the boxes that the other ones are in, fully assembled.
Okay.
I don't know why. I can't explain it, but it just brings me joy when I see it. I walk in my office, it's straight back,
right
and
there.
It makes me happy. I don't know why. I can't figure it out.
That's okay. But, I mean, that kind of ties also into, you want community, you want health, you want to help other people.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe it's more than I realize.
I mean, there's probably a lot of subliminal there that,
for sure.
I'm not a therapist or anything like that, but there's probably some subliminal there.
Probably. I might need to call one.
I think we all need to call one at some point in time.
Probably my other favorite. It's hard to pick just one because it was a whole group of different sets.
Okay.
There was actually the catalyst for building the Lego City. They came out in 2020 actually, during right before lockdowns when they announced them, and they started coming out after the lockdowns, and that was when I obtained most of them. And, it was what sparked the idea for the Lego City, and what ended up me building it was they had this huge line of space stuff. And as I've said on the last episode, I'm a huge space nerd. I love space travel, the idea of space travel, the idea of exploring other worlds. So when they came out with these space sets that were influenced by NASA but not direct copies of NASA stuff, I bought every single one of them.
Nice.
There's probably there's one modeled after the Space Launch System, which is the rocket NASA's working on developing to send Americans back to the moon.
Okay.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah,
it's only been in development since the end of I guess it was either the beginning of the Obama administration or right at the end of Bush's administration, where they started development.
Okay.
Actually, it was Bush.
Okay.
When they started it, and then Obama carried it further, and then kind of backtracked a little bit, and then forward again, and then Trump did the same thing where they backtracked.
Right. Yeah.
I could go into it, but basically Bush was like, we need to go back to the moon, so they started developing a system to go to the moon.
Okay.
When Obama took off, he's like, we've already been to the moon. We need to look to Mars. So they started redeveloping it to get to Mars.
Okay.
And then when Trump went back in office, he's like, no, we need to make sure we can actually still get to the moon because it's been 70 years since we've done it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they reversed it. Now it's a moon thing again. Thankfully, Biden has left it alone because that is why if there wasn't so much back and forth, we probably would have already seen it.
Right, absolutely.
But with all the back and forth, it's delayed it.
Okay.
So hopefully we leave it alone and we can actually get back to the moon.
Right.
I want to know we're capable of it too. I mean,
yeah, well, absolutely. Before we go to Mars, let's make sure we can repeat what we did in the past.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense.
Because we can't do it the way we did it then. We've already determined some of the pieces that they manufactured for the Saturn V, we are incapable of making.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is crazy because now we have CNCs. Part of it is like this drill pattern that they had to put into a diffuser plate. I don't remember exactly what the part is or all the details, but there's this part that has to be drilled into in a pattern that they figured out exactly how, and we can't get our CNCs to do it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know why, but we are incapable of creating that part again. We could not launch a Saturn V today if we wanted to.
That's crazy.
So, anyway, tangent over.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, cool. So now let's, I guess, do our next one.
I guess so. All right. I'm starting to get nervous, but I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, this is a good time.
I was a little worried that it was going to be bad early.
No, it's honestly, it's a slow creep. And then we're going to get punched once we get to the bomb. The bomb is going to be where I'm not going to lie and say you're going to be fine. This is going to be fine. The bomb's going to hurt.
That's why we got that ice cream cake.
Yep, exactly. That's why we got ice cream cake. For those of you that don't know, I told Noah to get ice cream. I recommended an ice cream cake just because of the consistency of it, in my opinion, works the best out of everything. It really kind of holds together a little bit more to help cool the tongue and all that. And like my goal is to make it to 10, get through everything, and then I'll eat some of the cake. We'll see how it goes.
We're also ready to just run upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too stubborn to say nope. I'm gonna help myself. So
fair enough.
All right.
Well, bottoms up.
Bottoms up. Yep. And this is the first one that actually, in my opinion, actually has any real heat to it.
Yeah.
And this is called the Spicy Shark.
Spicy Shark.
Yep, Spicy Shark / Mako Snake, 71,000 Scovilles. It's not a bad flavor.
No, I mean, it's a very good flavor.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that flavor a lot.
Yeah, it's was definitely better with the nuggets over the chicken breasts that we did it on.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, it's got, I don't know what that, it's got almost a sweetness to it, but I don't know if you're noticing it, but it starts to build up on the back of that tongue.
It definitely hits harder the longer you linger.
Yep. So luckily my questions aren't quite as deep right now.
Oh, that's good.
And so I kind of threw out the big ones at the beginning.
I'll admit my eyes are watering.
Yep, I bet.
It's not bad, but it's enough to make my eyes water.
Yep. Like I said, I feel it on the back of the tongue. It's got some spice to it, but that's about it.
Okay.
It's more of the little bits of nugget that I got, little crumbs there that tickle the throat, but
it is tasty.
It is.
It is very tasty.
Yeah, that one I really like that one with the nuggets. I didn't know if I would or not, but that one is good. So all right. So Noah, you play the drums.
I do.
What interested you in learning them, and can you play any other instruments?
So, funny story. Ironically enough, and this speaks to kind of my childhood a little bit.
Okay.
The same man who was the catalyst to get me into making videos, creating content.
Okay, so Jesse
is the same man who's got me interested in drumming in the first place.
Okay.
It was probably that, along with my older brother Andrew, who will be on the show eventually. He lives in Kansas. It's a little bit harder to make that work, but. Him and Andrew were both drummers when I was growing up.
Okay.
Jesse started to teach me a little here and there about how to play. And then when Andrew got his first kit, that was when I really started picking it up more.
Okay.
Because then I could actually play it at home. I'd never had a chance to play it at home before. It was whenever church was over and I had a few minutes and my mom and dad weren't trying to leave.
Right.
Go jump behind the drum set and beat them around a little bit. So,
okay.
So Jesse and Andrew probably were the reasons that I'm a
Okay.
drummer now.
Nice.
Can I play any other instruments? Define play.
Make it sound musical, at least.
I
Couple
am
chords?
capable of playing a few songs on the guitar.
Okay.
I could not play any song on the guitar. I have like 2 or 3 songs that I can play.
Okay. Yep. Nope. Fair enough.
Same kind of goes for the piano, but a lot less. I think I can play like 2 exactly songs on the piano, and then I don't even think I can play the whole thing.
Okay.
One of them is Carol of the Bells, which is probably the easiest thing you could play on a piano.
Right. Okay.
And the other one is Yankee Doodle. So they're very short songs, very simple songs.
Yeah, very simple, basic.
But yeah, I do want to get to play the guitar a little bit more, but I have a busy life right now.
Yes,
so
that's absolutely understandable.
a little bit hard to do that, but
Yep.
it's sitting right over there. So
Yeah,
ideally,
it is right there.
Ideally, now that it is out and in the open, and I spend a lot of time down here, I'll pick it up more often. But yeah, I'm mainly a drummer.
Mainly a drummer. How often do you practice on the drums?
Well, it was like once a week.
Okay.
For a long time, and then it was not at all for a while. And now I finally have a drum kit in my basement because I have a basement.
Yep, absolutely.
Very nice. You can't have a drum kit in an apartment.
No, does not go well.
Yeah, so now I have a kit. So I've only hit that one a few times since I brought it down here, but it doesn't sound the greatest. I need to make some adjustments to it, but
fair enough.
But yeah, I don't play very often.
Okay, well, fair enough. And for those of you that don't know, Noah is the drummer for our church's worship team. So he definitely does add a lot of soul, honestly, to a lot of the songs. You know, he may not want to admit it, but it's a very, very different vibe when he's playing in comparison to when he's not. So, you know, I personally really enjoy it when he does play. And so I hope that he plays a bit more.
I enjoy it too. It's just timing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I get it. I'm in the live stream booth with you. I know how that all goes.
There you go.
So, all right, let's go on to our next one here.
Right on. I'm starting to get that runny nose.
Yep.
We're on
the very end one here now. Okay. So this is the Jalapeno Chico. This is 103,000 Scoville units. So this one, I thought this one had a pretty decent flavor, if I remember correctly. I've done it with my wings that I've made lately, and I'll dip it on there, put it on. So bottoms up, brother.
The amount of sauce you have on there versus what I have. I'm like, just touch my tongue.
Yeah, you just got a little dainty bit, and here I am. Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for it to hit like the last one did.
Yep, it's going to
come. So far, it's not.
Yep. So
not
like
doing much.
Yep, for me, it's on the back of the throat. That's where I'm getting it. It's a slow build up, kind of slowly creeping its way up to the front. It's got a smoky little flavor. But this is I believe, it's primarily a jalapeno one. It's a jalapeno and scorpion pepper blend.
Okay.
So, in my experience, a scorpion pepper is usually a little bit sweeter, a little bit more fruity type flavor, which is where you get that little bit of that fruit flavor in it, in my opinion. The jalapeno gets you that little bit of that smoky. And to me, typically a scorpion is not a super hot pepper. But for whatever reason, a jalapeno can hit me hard, which is surprising because a jalapeno is really not that hot of a pepper.
Not really.
But at times, again, like I was saying, certain things, certain oils, certain types of spice hits people differently.
Yeah.
And so
it did not hit the back of my throat.
Okay.
It is sitting on the front of my tongue. It
okay.
is just like it's in a lawn chair, just lounging right there.
Just chilling for you. Okay.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
I would put it pretty level for me with the last one.
With the last one? Okay.
Where it's not overly spicy.
Okay.
I feel it.
My
eyes are watering.
Yeah. Okay.
My nose is running. But I'm not dying.
You're not dying yet. Yep. Yeah, and to me, I would say it's a little bit spicier than the last one. I did prefer the flavor of the last one, actually, over this one.
Yes, me too.
The more I talk, I'm feeling it more over the tongue, the air getting blown on it. I mean, but I also did do like 3 times more sauce than you as well.
That's a fair point.
That's going to make a little bit of a difference too. But it's nothing that's going to disable me or anything. And so, leading onto that, not being disabled and all, I got another question for you here, Noah.
Excellent.
Ready for
let's
this?
Have it. Yeah.
So, for those that don't know, Noah just recently bought a house. And so, my big question is, what has it been like being a first-time homeowner?
Been awesome. First of all, nothing in life can prepare you for the way it feels.
Yep.
When you make that first mortgage payment and you realize that money has gone into your investment.
Yes.
That money has done something for you.
Yep.
As opposed to the last who knows how many years that I've been paying rent where it's just gone.
Yep.
It's kept roof over my house for another month.
Right.
yes, your mortgage keeps your house over your roof over your head for another month as well. But in 30 years, I won't be doing that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully.
But yeah, so it's been amazing. You become a handyman when you buy a house.
Yes, you do.
You don't realize it. You think you're kind of handy beforehand, but then once you buy the house, you're like, oh, okay, now I have to learn how to change the flapper in a toilet. Okay, now I'm a curtain hanger. Oh, okay, this door's a little sticky, so now I'm a carpenter.
Yep.
It's awesome. I love it. We've got a nice, decent, big backyard.
Yes,
we've got a huge patio, which is amazing.
Yep.
Right now, we just have a hammock on it, but there's nothing like climbing in that hammock after the afternoon sun has cleared my patio and reading a book right there.
Yep. And realizing it's your house, your space that you're reading it in.
I've been here for 3 months. June, July, August, this is starting my 4th month in this house. And I still am having moments where I'm like, oh, yeah, this is my house. I'm not renting this from somebody. I own this. This belongs to me.
Yep.
It's an amazing feeling.
Yep.
You also get really sensitive to noises.
Yes, you do.
Every single noise is either someone trying to kill you
yep.
or your house falling apart.
Exactly. Yes. That does go away over time. It just takes some time.
You get very aware, though. Like,
yes.
I know my apartment that I used to live in before this creaked. But I didn't think twice about it because, like, well, if the roof caves in, there's somebody else's problem to fix.
Yeah. Now it's yours.
Now it's my problem, which is an awesome feeling. It sounds like it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing. Trust me.
It absolutely is. I agree with you. Yeah, I can definitely relate because I had those exact. I think I even told you about it. I'm like, every creak, every noise, you're gonna be like, what was that?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, but it's a fantastic feeling.
Yes, good to hear. How is the wife liking it?
She loves it. Probably more than I do, if not exactly the same amount.
Okay.
Everyone enjoys things differently. I think we both enjoy it exactly the same, though. It's
beautiful.
We're in our own place. It's our house. We can do whatever we want.
Yep.
The biggest thing for me, and I think she enjoys it as much as I do, I hope, is I can just put stuff on the wall. And I don't have to be like, okay, do I have enough command strips? Are the command strips going to hold this thing? Do I need 12 command strips, or is the one enough? I'm like, here's a nail, and there's the picture.
Yep, exactly.
So that's been an awesome thing, and I think she enjoys that as much as I do.
Good.
She does a lot of at-home workouts.
Okay.
And I don't know if she feels differently about it, but I know I do because when we lived in the apartment, we were on the 3rd floor, and there's a lot of jumping and stuff. And it gave me anxiety whenever I was at home and she was working out because, like, the neighbors downstairs probably hate our guts.
Right.
But now we're in our own house, and I'm like, jump higher.
Yeah.
Hit the ground harder.
Yeah. Make more noise.
Yeah. Make it do. Yeah.
Be as loud as you can.
Exactly. It's a very nice feeling.
Awesome.
It's a very nice feeling.
Yep. Good.
But yeah, so I love the studio too. This is a big thing for me. This is the first time that I have had a space. And I have 2 spaces now. I've got my office where I put this all together.
Right.
And I've got this room out here where I can film videos.
Yep.
Make podcasts. I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think I've talked about everything.
No, that's perfect.
A garage is amazing. I had covered parking at my apartment, so I didn't worry about snow so much. But now I have a garage.
Yes.
So my car is a little bit warmer. It's not,
We
haven't been here through the winter yet, but I'm sure it
makes a huge difference. Well, it's not necessarily warmer. You don't have to clear the snow off of it.
That's a big one.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing worse than trying to clear the driveway when a car's parked there and you're trying to go around the tires and you get like the mounds of snow around it. And then the fact that you don't have to defrost the car, you don't got to clear the snow.
I'm excited.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It absolutely is. And when you wash a car and you have a garage, it'll actually stay clean, a few days longer, which is a huge deal.
I haven't had that experience yet. I have not washed my car since I moved here.
Fair enough. All right. Do we want to do the next one, or do we want to clear a little bit?
Let's clear a little bit, and we'll get the next one set up.
Okay.
Because we got 3 more here, so give us a second.
All right, Mr. Noah. So
back at it.
This is where it gets real. So this is, as I'm sure anybody that has seen the Hot Ones knows, this is kind of where everything falls off of a cliff.
Oh boy.
This is where everybody gets the first real reaction.
Okay.
So this is the bomb evolution. So it's their improved one that tastes better. It doesn't taste better. It's not the best tasting sauce. This will probably be one of the worst tasting sauces we have. The enjoyment factor is up there high, though. Okay. So go ahead and you take the first dip. And this is a 135,000 Scoville units. So bottom. Oh, come on, get a real dip in there. Just for those just listening and not seeing, he like barely dabbed it in there. It was like the very tip of his nugget. There we go. Now he actually got some coating on here, so he can enjoy this with me. So bottoms up, brother.
That is a nasty sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is not good.
Mm-mm. I'm getting scared because it's not doing anything yet.
With a chicken nugget, I'm wondering if that breading
maybe it soaked a little
kind of soaked a bit of it up
because it's not hitting me very hard.
No, it's not hitting
I can
hard
feel
yet.
it creeping up.
It's going to come, though. It will come. So on a on a naked breast, so we cubed up chicken breasts when I did it. And so that's what I smoked. And then when we did the dipping, it like coated the entire breast up.
So that was
it was a bit more than this, I would say, but no breading or anything like that. And so for me, my mouth's watering. It's not too bad to me.
It's definitely getting there. It's still not unbearable.
Good. Okay.
It is definitely not unbearable, but I'm like, that is heat.
Yep.
That is heat right there.
Yep.
And this is the part where you drink the water and it starts to not do anything good for you.
Yeah, water is not the best thing for this because, again, typically your hot sauces have a lot of oil, and so oil and water separates.
Yeah.
Water just kind of helps to amplify it.
It gives you a temporary relief, and then...
Yep, exactly. So my question here, so we're going back in the deep end.
Okay.
So everyone goes through moments in life that can be considered a catalyst event where either you break down and you rise up and overcome, or you struggle through it, and you got to try to find your way. Have you ever had one of these moments, and how did you overcome it, or why didn't you overcome it?
Ooh. Where to go? Like everyone else, many times. One more recent was with the YouTube. I stopped for a while, honestly, about almost 3 years, actually.
Okay.
Probably actually almost exactly 3 years from when this podcast started back up. Woo.
For those of you that can't see it, you can see it in his face. He's feeling it. The heat's coming on the tongue.
It's fun. I'm enjoying it. But I stopped doing YouTube because I really got burned out. I enjoy making content. What I learned in 2020 is what I don't enjoy is making. I really like the TV, the series that I was doing, the Noah and Ruben show. That was so much fun to make for a while. But then it got really old.
Okay.
Because me and my brother were collaborating on the writing. But then everything else outside of the writing, aside from lovely support from my wife, I was doing everything. I was acting 2 different characters. I was operating the camera. I was editing.
Yeah.
And it started getting really old. And I don't exactly know why, other than just that going back to the community building thing, was that I learned that I like doing this with people, which is what brought me to podcast it eventually. This is the most fun way, in my opinion, aside from, it's fun to make skits and stuff with your friends, but this is a very fun way. That was very loud. It's a very fun way to get with a friend, and it's kind of like without a friend, this is a very, very boring thing to do.
Right. Oh, I can see that. Yeah. You're talking to yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And we've been recording for an hour already.
Oh, really? It doesn't even feel like that.
Yeah. So if I was doing this by myself, that hour would have felt like 3 days.
Right.
So I kind of fell off the deep end with that, and I struggled a lot with what do I do now? Am I just done with YouTube? And I thought I was for a while, and here we are.
Here you are in your podcast.
Yeah. I would say a more serious one, a little bit more life one was after I graduated high school.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I'm still feeling parts of this at times. Not all the time. It's not constantly there, but every now and again. So I was working at Dairy Queen. I am still, or again, I guess you could say. And after I graduated high school, I kind of started reflecting a little bit. And I was like, I have a high school diploma and I work at Dairy Queen. And I started to feel kind of bad about myself.
Okay.
That wore off when I realized that, okay, yeah, I work at Dairy Queen. I haven't gone to college. I have a high school diploma, but I haven't gone to college. I haven't done anything yet. So kind of unrealistic to expect yourself to be not anywhere else. I mean, there's a number of jobs you could have, but really there's like, you can't graduate high school and then be like, okay, now I'm going to go work for a Fortune 500 company. So, so I dealt with that then, and I kind of worked myself out of it. And then I did go to college, and I graduated college.
Okay.
And I was still working at Dairy Queen. And then it kind of set in a little bit more. And even more recently, like even not so much today, I feel like I'm figuring things out now, but to an extent, I look at it and I'm like, I spent 3 years at college because I was Front Range.
Yeah, it's still college.
Yeah. So I have associates in video production and graphic design, and I wasn't doing anything with it.
Right.
And even to this day, sometimes I look at that diploma on my wall and I'm like, what did I spend those 3 years on?
Okay.
You know, where you're just kind of like, did I spend those 3 years getting a pointless degree? Am I in debt for no reason?
Right.
Because I didn't pay for it in cash even as much as I would have liked to.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
And
many of us can.
Yeah, I definitely still feel that. More recently, I feel like I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm using it more, and I can see where it can go now. Right. Especially with this podcast. Everything that I'm doing here is what I learned at school. Okay. The graphics at the beginning, I make myself. The editing of the audio and the video was all part of my classes. So I feel like I'm using it. And that was a big reason that I wanted to start the podcast, was to start helping me with that feeling. Okay. And also to build the community. And I want this to be a full-time job eventually.
Fair enough.
The sooner the better, but
right. Yeah, absolutely.
But this is helping me work through that, where I don't feel like I've wasted 3 years and I wasted $20,000 or whatever it was. Right. And so there's hundreds of other things. There's a couple of things that I'm working through constantly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You make mistakes in your life. Yep. Some things you can never undo. Yes. But you move forward.
Well, exactly. I mean, as long as, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, as long as you learn from those mistakes. Yeah. And you genuinely try to improve and make yourself better every day. A big thing that I personally try to live by is make tomorrow better than, today. Make your next day better. Take the next step forward. Don't go backwards. Try to push forward. Yeah. No matter what's going on. And then the other thing is control your controllables. Okay. Control what you can control. Right. Things that are out of your control are exactly that. They're out of your control. Right. Don't fixate yourself on what you cannot impact. And because, like for me in my life, a lot of times those are the things that bring me down the most. Right. And puts me down a dark path that I don't want to go down. Right. And those are the hardest things to get out of. For sure. Is my thought process on that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's a vulnerable moment talking about, things that, kind of take you down, but also kind of lift you up. Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Thanks for asking it.
Yeah, you bet. All right. So we're going to do our next one, which is a Alchemy Pepper Watermelon Ghost. So the last one was 135,000 Scovilles. This one's 641,000 Scovilles.
That's a jump.
So it's a big jump. To me, this one was not as hot as Da Bomb when I had it. Now, to be fair, though, Da Bomb this time was not hot. So I'm honestly kind of disappointed. I built it up, said it was going to be hot. We're going to jump off of a cliff, and honestly, I think that cliff was more like a curb. We may have sprained our ankle a little bit. So,
fair enough. Before we do that,
yes.
This is the worst I've had.
Camera issues. Yeah. Take care of your camera.
Well, actually, this is a full hour. I haven't done a full hour before, so give me a second.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. We've been recording for over an hour now, so camera stopped recording twice on me. So something we're working on. I thought I figured it out, but
new time podcast.
Not.
It's when this is what, your third one now?
Yes,
so only three under the belt. The longest one, definitely gonna grow some legs and figure things out, and just get you guys bigger and better coming down the road
soon.
All right, so this one is the Alchemy Pepper Watermelon Ghost, 641,000 Scovilles. And, to compare it to the last one, that was only 135,600 Scoville units.
Golly.
So we are, 3.5, 4 times more hot. So let's enjoy.
Yeah. I hope that watermelon comes through, because I'm a big watermelon fan. So I'm hoping I can actually taste the watermelon here.
You might be able to. I did not when I had it. So, all right. Bottoms up, brother.
It didn't taste like watermelon, but it was sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's got a sweet to it. And so, kind of like I was saying before, I think right before the cameras died, to me, this one's way milder than the last one. Even though it's almost 4 times, or a little bit over 4 times, supposedly hotter, to me it is not. To me, this one is
it's taking its sweet time getting there.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this one was like 6 was hotter than this one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I recall correctly from the last time, it had a little bit of buildup, but it wasn't a ridiculous amount. And now it could have been, because we did these relatively quickly when we did the Hot Ones Challenge.
Sure.
And so we could have had a little bit of bleed over from like the bomb and then into this. I do know that the last dab, it was a buildup. It was not the instant heat. And then it gave us about 10 minutes of good heat to it, but it was nothing
enough time
crazy.
To end the pod and go get some Oreo cookie. Cookies and cream, Blizzard cake.
Yep, absolutely. So I mean, it to me
it's still not hitting me.
Yeah, this doesn't hit me at all. I'm almost tempted to re-dip another part of my nugget just to try to get something out of it, but.
I got a little bit of unchew.
I got an extra nugget here too. I mean, they gave me an extra one. So
hey, how about that?
Yep.
Well,
all right.
let's
redo it.
Yeah, try that again. I'm getting.
Yeah, because I'm very disappointed in this one right now, and I'm not.
I put it straight on my tongue that time.
Yep.
Didn't put it in there and let it land where it landed. It went. Sauce first.
Yep, I'm sucking a little bit of sauce off the breading. Nothing.
It's almost got me tempted to just take a sip out of that. I'm not going to do that. But I feel like you probably could.
I probably could. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Only reason is because I don't want to wreck my stomach.
Yeah.
Just because it
would hurt later. But.
Yeah, exactly. But, the taste buds might not feel it, but
I'm sure the guts will.
Oh, the gut will. Yeah, the gut will. This is not like the 1-chip challenge. Like if we ever really want to do a crazy one of these,
I don't know if my wife would let me.
We
this
can
was
do
a stretch.
Yeah, I know. I was there when we were talking about it. The 1-chip challenge is legit. I mean, and the problem with it is not necessarily. I mean, the heat in the mouth is hot. I mean, it hurts, but it's the gut.
Yeah,
the gut. Like 30 minutes to an hour later, it punches you hard.
Wow.
And it stays for about an hour. And so, that's one where I don't recommend those that are weak on it. I'm supposed to ask you a question here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. I was here to talk about the sauce.
Yeah, I know we're just gonna sit here and chit chat now. And
I will say it is. I can tell there's heat now.
Yeah,
but the last one was a little bit harder to get through. My eyes aren't watering. My nose isn't even running. So
yeah, I agree. I think the bomb was definitely a bit more intense.
Yeah,
had a little bit more lasting flavor, a little to it. I'm getting some on the tip of my tongue now. And that's part of literally sucking it off of a nugget. But other than that, it's really nothing crazy to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
that one's acceptable.
Yep. All right. So here's our next question then.
All right. Here we go.
So what advice do you have for those that are listening and struggling to overcome what is bothering them?
Oh, my best advice is to just talk to people. Getting things out in the open. It doesn't have to be with the person. If there's a person that's bothering you, you don't have to go straight to them first. Just go to a close friend, a trusted, what's the word?
Trusted confidant or,
a counselor, It could literally be a school counselor or a counselor, a therapist, or it could just be a friend. There's nothing better than just speaking, getting it out of you. Because what will wreck you the most, in my opinion, is keeping things like that bottled up inside. I'm still kind of bad at it. Sometimes I'll bottle things up and I won't talk about them, or I won't let my true emotions about something show, and I'll let it build. But get it out in the open. It doesn't have to be with someone that it involves. Just someone that you trust, someone that you think will give you good advice. If you don't think anybody will give you good advice, then maybe that is where you go. Right. Talk to a therapist. That's what they're there for. They're not going to judge you for whatever it may be. That their job is to talk you through things, and just keep your chin up. Find someone who inspires you. Listen to podcasts. Listen to podcasts about people being children when they're 26 and 42.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know if I can go any deeper than that. I don't know. I'm not qualified to.
No, and that's but the thing is what it's about your advice. It's about your experience.
That's in my life. My experience is things feel a lot better when you just talk about them with someone. It doesn't matter who it is. When you're married, your spouse is a very good person to talk to. Especially, I will make this one stipulation, especially if the spouse is not causing the problem, but you know what I mean? Like if it is a thing between you and your spouse, that needs to be between you and your spouse. You guys need to talk about that, because your spouse does not know they're doing something wrong.
Right. Yeah. Your spouse cannot read your mind. You know, no matter how many jokes there are about it, and why can't you read my mind, or they should be able to read my mind. We can't, we cannot read each other's mind. And yes, the longer you're with somebody,
you start to pick up on things.
Yeah. You pick up their body language. You pick up their vibe. I mean, there's an aura when your spouse is angry or something's going on, you feel it.
Right.
And yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Talk to them, be open, but be constructive. Don't
tear them down.
Yeah, don't go into it and try to tear anybody down, or be constructive in your comments, and go into it with an open mind, because like you just said, they may not realize what they're doing is bothering you, or something's going on.
Right.
And the only way to be able to develop is to be able to communicate with each other. You know? Be open and honest, and remember, you're both coming from a place of love and want to strengthen and fortify a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's great. That's absolutely great advice there, Noah, on, communicate with your partner.
Yeah.
What would you say for situations where it's something that, I don't have. I lost my train of thought on that one. It wasn't a question I had written down, and I should have wrote it down, but my brain completely went away.
Fair enough.
All right, so now
crap.
now's the hot one.
I will say that I saw it on the back. It says Apollo. And I don't know what if that's just the brand.
Yeah,
but it instantly made me think of the Apollo missions, and that sounds spicy. I don't know if it's named after the rocket.
I honestly don't know
the missions.
No, it's made with the Apollo pepper.
Why is it called the Apollo pepper?
I have no idea. Let's see. The flag, the peak, blah blah blah. It is from Smokin' Ed Curry, The Last Dab. Apollo burns taste buds with pure pepper concoction. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's tradition around here to add a little extra dab. Live on the tradition. So in the hot ones, when they're doing that, obviously they're doing wings. They're not doing chicken nuggets. We frankly had already ate before we did this. We wanted to keep it light and something kind of just really simple for us. And so we did chicken nuggets. Normally you're going to do this with hot wings, and you're going to toss the wings in the sauce. So it's going to definitely be a lot hotter than what we're getting.
We'll absolutely dab it.
Dab
it. No problem.
So we're gonna pour this in the little cup, and then we'll make sure we get plenty on our nugget. And so don't worry, everybody at home that cannot see, I will make sure Noah actually gets a healthy portion of this on there. There we go. Yep, so he got a good portion. He got all sides coated on his. He did a very good job. All right. I think we're about even on that.
Looks like it to me.
All right. So, all right. Bottoms up, brother.
That is not a good sauce.
Oh no. There we go.
Shouldn't open my mouth.
No, you need to open your mouth more. I mean, I got to talk. I'm the one asking questions and everything. And this one's going to build up a bit. I mean, and it's going to keep going and going and going. So
let's speed this up.
Yep,
I got an ice cream cake with my name on it.
Yep. So this one's going to be very simple. I kind of ran out of some questions. So basically, this isn't really a question. This is just going to be an opportunity for you to have the last word and tell everybody what you would like them to know about you and your channel.
Oh, what I would like you to know about me is that I've been in a lot of pain right now. No, it's not a lot of pain. It's spicy, but like we've kind of talked about the whole time.
So for those of you that cannot see, he is turning red. He's got tears forming. He's drinking a little bit of water because the more you talk with this pepper, the hotter it gets. And this
guy won't shut up.
And it's going to keep growing. We have about 10 minutes of this growth, and then we're going to hit the crescendo, and then it'll taper down. But the thing is the more that we're talking, the more it burns. It's literally like a fire. And so right now, I'm giving Noah kind of an easy out by me doing all the talking right now to save him a little bit. But it's not easy. But I'm going to throw the mic back to Noah so he can go ahead and give you that last word.
Yeah, so like we've been talking about the whole time, I'm a fun-loving guy. I want to build a community, and I'm just here to pretend to be a child, or not pretend, but relive those childhood memories. Yeah. That's an idea that I have for a podcast coming up, is sharing some early memories, like that first trip to Disney World that I talked about earlier, and other childhood memories. I don't want everything to be about Disney, but a lot of it will be.
Right, yeah.
That's where a lot of my passion lies. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a good guy trying to bring some joy out there and help some other people that are feeling like me, where they're just tired of the crappy world we live in. And
tired of being forced to be an adult.
Yeah.
And try to bring a little bit of that child adventure and fun.
Go back to being a kid for an hour and a half today.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you going to be trying to have a regular schedule with your podcast for the people to be able to follow? Or so what's that going to be?
Every Friday. Every Friday there will be a new podcast. I'm actually recording 2 podcasts this week.
Okay.
So we got this one today, which is September 25th, and this one will go up this coming Friday.
Okay.
And then I got another one that I'm doing this week to kind of help make that a little bit easier.
Okay.
Because doing a weekly schedule is very challenging for anyone who doesn't know.
Yes. When you work a full-time job and you're doing this as kind of a part-time thing or side type thing, it was tough. I mean, Noah and I wanted to try to get together 2-3 weeks ago, and is just trying to get our schedules to align. Just could not. Just hasn't happened.
Yeah. And that's part of why I want to get a little bit of headroom here. Get some other people in. A couple times in a week when I have the opportunity to shoot 2 in 1 week. Because then when we do have these weeks where I just can't get it into my schedule, or my guests just can't get it into their schedule,
right,
I'm not out of luck for an episode that week.
Yep,
so
absolutely. Sounds great. Anything else you want to tell them about?
Yeah. So you can find the podcast on Instagram at Noah Parker's World of Wonder. We also have a video version of the podcast for those of you listening on Spotify, Apple Music, or CastBox. You can find the YouTube channel by typing in the search bar at Noah Parker _channel. If you don't put the underscore, it will take you to the 3,000 other Noah Parkers that have made YouTube channels. You can tell it's me because it's got a nice light blue circle, and it says the Noah Parker channel in it.
Awesome.
It's not an image of me. We also are getting ready to launch a TikTok page at Noah Parker's World of Wonder on TikTok. And you can follow us on there. On Instagram, you can also follow the YouTube channel on Instagram at Noah Parker _channel, same as the YouTube address. And I'm going to go eat some ice cream cake. So did you have anything you wanted to add?
Okay. You're all good.
Sounds good. Well, until next time, let the wonder take hold.